The Lone Star State of Texas. It's the nickname No Limits, and it is the next stop for the drivers of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series. Our coverage presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group as we welcome you to just 4 races remaining until the playoffs begin for the Cup cars. Monday night, LSRTV, CRN Sports. It's the Race on Texas 200. And we welcome you again to Speedway Club Suites and all the grandstands. And this mile and a half is ready to go here in the virtual Lone Star State of Fort Worth, Texas. Good evening. I'm Wesley Outland in North Carolina. On the other side of the U.S. of A. in Washington is Greg Rentz. Hims is in the production booth for LSRTV, actually deep in the heart of Texas, Wichita Falls, just about 3 hours south, or is it north? North of, I thought it was north. He's North Texas of Texas Motor Speedway. Got a good one here tonight, Greg. Texas Motor Speedway, a lot of unknowns. 2, 3, 4 wide racing is a given. Should be a crazy night here at Texas. Your thoughts as we get ready for No Limits Texas on this Monday evening.
Texas two-step here on Monday night, and this is going to be a fun one, Wesley. Texas, yeah, it's a little bit different than what it used to be, but hey, the racing that it has produced here with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series lately has been pretty fun to watch. I'm expecting more of the same here tonight. This series visited this track 3 times last year. This is the first trip of the year this year as qualifying gets underway. Man, this is a fun part of the schedule because this track, high speed, 2 very different corners. Again, this is the modernized version of Texas, less banking in turn 1 and 2. Definitely makes for a very interesting race, and looking forward to 134 laps here. Again, presented by Race on Texas.
Yeah, Race on Texas. We want to give a big props and thanks to them, as of course they are making it happen. And let's take a look at your Race on Texas race information for tonight. 30-minute practice session, 2-lap qualifying, and of course that is going to be going on after the conclusion of the drivers' meeting. Once that concludes, 200 miles, 134 laps is the distance of this race here at the Texas Motor Speedway. Of course, our broadcast coverage of the race information and for tonight's sponsor is raceontexas.com. If you're in the Arklatex area, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and more, and you want to get awesome short track, dirt track, pavement racing, get a subscription. And, of course, go to raceontexas.com. And don't forget, half of the money monthly goes towards the short track of your choosing that you call your home track. That's raceontexas.com. Thanks to Chris David and everybody that's involved in Race on Texas. As a matter of fact, they had a big broadcast at Boot Hill Speedway in Louisiana on Saturday night. Over 130 factory stock cars. When the race ended, a deputy sheriff by the name of Kyle Cummings picked up the win. And Greg, he will be joining me on my Fox Sports Radio podcast Finish Line on Wednesday morning to talk about his big win. And by the way, you can also hear that on our podcast outlets on the Community Radio Network whenever the replay comes up. Yeah, his big win. And by the way, you can also hear that on our podcast outlets on the Community Radio Network whenever the replay comes up. Yes.
Definitely looking forward to having him on the show. I'm sure you are, Wesley. And you've had a couple of guests from my neck of the woods up here in the Northwest, and a couple of them, or at least one of them, I should say, are in this race. So definitely good to see that show branching out all forms of short track racing around the country. Good to see short track racing getting more and more coverage here in the nation. But we got iRacing tonight with the Northwest Cup Series, and it's heating up too. We've got quite a few drivers who have really come on as of late. Of course, Sean Brightsman getting that victory last week at Montreal on the road course. But we're at Texas right now, a track that Brightsman won at last year as well. But this falls right into the wheelhouse of several drivers. And Wesley, this is a big field. We've got over 30 drivers in the field tonight. This is going to be a very, very interesting race.
Yeah, there is quite a field of cars here, man. I was looking at it preparing earlier tonight and looking at the stats and telemetry and all of the good gadgets that Charles Wooten has set us up with now. the productions, and I was literally like a kid in a candy store looking at the number of the cars that are attending this event, and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, the numbers are phenomenal. And I think we're going to have a pretty good race. And the question is this: as we await qualifying to begin, of course, the drivers' meeting to end. The question is this, Greg. You've got 4 races left. We've seen sheer domination by Lake Peterson. Drivers, some that have punched their ticket, like Lake Peterson, like Sean Brightsman, like Chris White, like, let's see, Dan West Jr. Other drivers are on the cusp of getting wins, but they can't seem to break through. But can they get in by virtual points, especially when you've got 4 races remaining, counting tonight, before the playoffs begin?
So it's getting down to crunch time here. We got, like you just said, 3 races left after this race before playoffs. And Lake Peterson, again, leads the series in wins, but Brightsman's beginning to catch up to him and that tally as well. This is going to be quite the end to the season. Definitely looking forward to watching this one play out, as next week we head to Phoenix with the Open Dog Leg, the most modern version of Phoenix on the iRacing server, but definitely produces a fantastic race. That was the host of the championship race last year, if you recall, Wesley, and we know the high drama that came in that one. This year, the championship is in Las Vegas. We're closing it out in Sin City, so we swapped the positions of the Vegas race and the Phoenix race, so looking forward to that. But we're getting set to go in Texas here. We got cars on the grid. It's time to turn them down, and let's meet the field.
It'll be a good show in the starting lineup when we come back here, as we are actually skipping our regular commercial break before the starting lineup. So we're going to give you the starting lineup right now. And what do you know? Could tonight be the night for the man out of Billings, Montana? Jeff Stabnow, the 4K Ford, is on the pole, the 24 to the outside. Briar Reynolds in the traditional Rusty Wallace Miller Genuine Draft colors of the number 12. Look at that beautiful car. That's row number 1. Row 2, Noah Sherwinski in car number 96. He'll start third. Chris White, the Charlotte winner, in the number 83 machine. He's ready to go in the 4th position. Row 3, Kevin Smith, the man behind for Hermiston in the Tom Dinchell Automotive Group. 00 to the outside. Of course, Washington, and a winner this year of Dan West Jr. Row 4 on the grid, we'll find Casey Garber, a winner earlier in the year at Atlanta. To the outside, Stephen O'Hare in the 41. Your top 10 here at Texas, Justin Yee, part of the Bumblebee clan, and the racetrack king, Tyler King, in 21. Those are your top 10.
Rolling off in position number 11 will be Ryan Bloom in the number 25. Great runs at Montreal last week. And Carl Burke, the 53, back in the house after I believe he missed the race last week at Montreal. Row number 12 will find... row number 7 will find Sean Brightsman and Lake Peterson. The 2 winningest drivers in the series going to have to earn it tonight, as they're going to have to make their way through the field for this one. Cole Raz and Caden Anderson, teammates, going to make up row number 8 in this field from north of the border. Behind them in row number 9. Row number 10, rounding out the top 20, another set of teammates, Dan Lowther and BJ Tidrick for Team Ramrod.
And let's knock out the rest of the Larson and Ritters. Will make up row number 11. Row 12 in the back, we'll find Aaron Cooper and Ryan Maines. Row 13 on the grid, we'll find Matt Gelder in the 02. Russ Lump with the spiked hair there. Row 14. John Odenbacher in the 89, Casey Tillman in the 92, and firing off in the back, it's in 30 cars, make it 31, Troy Daggett in the 51 machine. We're ready to come to green. Greg, your thoughts before we drop the green rag here in Texas?
See what happens here. 134 laps, 200 miles. Going to be fun to watch them duke it out here in the great state of Texas. They say everything's bigger in Texas. The action's well, because this is going to be high octane for 134 laps. Pace cars in, Wesley.
And with 4 races before the playoff, there's no limits as well. Pace car, as Greg reiterated, on the pit lane. Here comes the field. Green flag in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. We are kicking the asphalt at Texas, baby. Here they come at speed. Listen. We are underway. And on the jump, Jeff Stabnow, Greg Rentz. Could tonight be the night for the 24?
Such a strong first half of the season last year, Wesley. Fell apart in the second half, and still here, 3 races out from the playoffs, has yet to visit victory lane here in either the Cup Series or the Truck Series. Very, very uncharacteristic of Jeff Stabnow. Yes, he only won 2 Cup races. Fantastic performance in the truck side. 7 wins in the first half of the season. However, again, we talked about it. The performance just disappeared at the end. He's even, for a couple of weeks now, trying to shake that luck. He's gotten a couple podiums, but still has yet to break through and get that win. Could it be tonight? He's leading early.
Jeff Stabnow, Noah Sherwinski right there, along with Chris White. You know, Noah Sherwinski's a teammate with Justin Yee and Lake Peterson, and all 3 of the Beaver State Bumblebee cars, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, are here. There's Sherwinski right there inside. 2 car lengths behind Stabnow. Stabnow leads that pack down the back straightaway. Charlotte win earlier in the year. He now nestles himself up on the outside lane, and they all go to the inside of the racetrack. 2, 3 wide a given, but right now, for the most part, Greg, everybody's playing nice.
Again, this aero package, you got to use the draft a little bit, something you're not used to seeing at Texas, except for the recent years with this 550 horsepower aero package that these tracks, these mile-and-a-half tracks, the Cup cars, very much like the big boys on Sundays, using that 550 horsepower, very high downforce package, which is more and more common now on these mile-and-a-half racetracks, and drivers know they got to show some patience in the early going, because just the slightest hit to the wall can really affect their car. And with only 1 fast repair, damage early on an aero sensitive track like this can spell, I'm going to try to save that fast repair for the second half of the race.
And we're the early going of this race as well. So again, everybody is pretty much just all settled in, if you will, and this is the filling each other out stage, just trying to see what their car to the bottom, filling your car out, seeing where you can make your moves when you need to. But for the most part, in the last couple of weeks, normal calamity on the opening laps. What a great improvement for these guys. They're about to go 10 laps so far, caution-free.
Been a nice change of pace from what we've seen. Grant, but that was because we were at the road course. Who was that were on board with? Casey Garber.
Wow.
In at number 94. Big bobble. Nice save by Ken there through 3 and 4 as you see him looking back at one of the Bumblebees. Believe that is going to be Justin Yee as Garber making his way up. Again, he won at a track very similar. He won in Atlanta earlier this season in the trucks. Still looking for that Cup win. However, he's been very strong in the Cup Series. And I want to give a shout to his teammate, Briar Reynolds, of second for the Garbage Garage, number 12 of Briar Reynolds. There he is. Great qualifying effort for him, running up in the top 5 early. Great race for Briar Reynolds thus far.
We got about 3 different packs of traffic. The top 23 are now nestled with each other down into turns number 1 and 2 onto the back straightaway. The rest of that pack of traffic, 24 through 28, are right there in a different pack. Now 29, 30, and 31 are starting to pick up the slack in the back, and they're beginning to run each other down and make now 2 different packs of traffic again. But right now, the top 23 cars from Jeff Stabnow down the scoring pylon to Aaron Cooper, they're all in their own little pack right there nestled with each other, less than separated by 2 seconds down the back straightaway.
As you see them all fighting for positions. Here's the last week's winner and defending Cup champion, Sean Breitzman, into number 36, getting around Carl Burke. BJ Tidrick up there in front of him, trying to make some moves towards the front. He's going to get the spot there from Caden Anderson, move him up to 12th. Anderson and Raz, the teammates for Caden Anderson Racing, they're trying to fight their way up through the field after being kind of nestled deep in the field to start off. Cole Raz, he has already climbed well into the top 10. Falling back a little bit, though. He's now back to 9th. He had gotten up as high as the 7th position. Now fighting right now with Lake Peterson for 8th. They're trading the spot back and forth in front of him. You watch Anderson there, the teammate to Raz. There's a look up at Briar Reynolds once again in the 12. Dan West Jr., defending Truck Series champion, lurking up there. How about that blank number 83 there? Chris White in the Ford up in the 3rd spot. He won a race at this track last year. He knows what to do in the Cup cars. cars. As you see, not quite blank, but a very plain Jane white number 83. Love those clean, simple one-color paint schemes for these guys that run them, and Chris White doing it this week. He won at this track last year as well, one of 3 visits to the Texas Motor Speedway, so he knows how to get it done. He won at Charlotte earlier this year, another track very similar to this one.
Underway in the early going, about 13 laps now. Now make it 14 completed. 120 laps to go. 120 laps remaining now in this event. And so far, everybody is doing a great job playing nice and staying out of trouble. Working lap 14 again, as we mentioned. Jeff Stabnow, Noah Sherwinski, 17 thousandths back, and here we go. Little antsy there just for a second as they fly by the start-finish line at No Limits Texas. You see the virtual Big Hoss TV screen virtually down the back straightaway. Look at that. I love those camera angles. I'm a fan of the speed shot, but there's nothing like the start-finish line cam as well. Greg Rance. Battle for the lead inside in 3. Sherwinski's there on Stabnow.
Sherwinski trying to get the lead away from Jeff Stabnow. They fight back there on the top. Stabnow's in the wall on the 24. Just barely scuffs the wall. And that could be the disaster right there. We talked about you got to keep your nose clean as long as you possibly can here. Sherwinski to the lead for the Bumblebees. Stabnow, now he's in for a fight.
Open up the door to the Chris White. Chris White down to the inside. Here comes now Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr. peeking down on the inside of Chris White's car. That 3-car battle now single file. That's for 2nd through 4th. Is now Casey Garber trying to close in on that battle. While that goes on, Noah Sherinsky trying to escape from those cars. Working now lap number 17 of 134. Second lead change of the race. And now another battle going on as Briar Reynolds is battling on the racetrack with Caden Anderson on the back straightaway.
Anderson trying to fight his way through the field. Ooh, one of the Bumblebees there with a crossover move. I think that would be Justin Yee in the 66 making a move on Briar Reynolds there. Ryan Bloom, who finished up in the podium last week at Montreal. Again, one of those rookie drivers who's been very, very strong here this season. Fighting now with Briar Reynolds, who has faded back to 14th, so he's got damage on the 12 car. Another case kind of like what Stabnow might be dealing with right now. Reynolds getting in the wall early perhaps, and you see what that does to the aerodynamics of these cars at a very, very aero-sensitive racetrack like Texas Motor Speedway.
Got the leaders exiting turn 4 now, coming through the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone at start finish, and the last place car is crossing the back straightaway halfway marker now, so about a lap and a half is being exhumed right now by the entire field of 31 cars, and the 31st position car, by the way, and that is the driver of Russ Lernberg, has really lost a lot of ground away from the pack. He's lost group from Scott Hutchinson, and while that goes on, we have 115 laps to go, watching them work their way down on the back straightaway now, and off of turn 4 comes the lead pack here at No Limits. Sherwinski, Stabnow, White, West, Garber, top 5. Look at this Hornet's Nest brewing behind the Bumblebee car. Sherwinski, a 5-car battle for 2nd out of turn 2.
And another one of the Bumblebee cars is up. That's Lake Peterson in the 09, who's made his way up to the field as White able to get by Stabnow for the 2nd spot, bringing West Jr. with him. Now Garber falls in line, and now Stabnow's in trouble because the freight train is going to be rolling on the inside there. Stabnow all by himself up top, and who's going to be taking the gamble to go with him? Cole Raz peaking high as he tried to get a move there on Lake Peterson. Kevin Smith lurking behind him as they try to freight train Jeff Stabnow to the back. And now the 24 is going to have to fall in line and just hope for a caution as quickly as possible to try to get that damage repaired.
20 laps in here in the Race on Texas 200 at the Texas Motor Speedway. Let's give you your rundown at the time being. Noah Sherwinski leads the way. Chris White is in 2nd. Dan West Jr. is 3rd. Casey Garber is 4th. Blake Peterson is 5th. Cole Raz is 6th. Jeff Stabnow, pole car, 7th. Stephen O'Hara is 8th. Sean Brightsman 9th. And Greg Ranson is now Kevin Smith into the top 10.
Kevin Smith doing a nice job working here. One car on pit road already. It is Ryan Maines in the 13 on pit road. He had a lot of damage. You saw the hood of the 13 car there for just a split second. A lot of damage on the right front. So already drivers saying, you know what, that is enough for me. And Ryan Maines saying, yep, that is enough for him. He has parked it for the night.
Tough break for 13, Ryan Maines. He has exited the race. His race is done. Tough break for the number 13 machine, as now 30 cars remain on the racetrack. And with Ryan Maines out, bump Russ Lundberg now to position number 30. The interval is almost 22 seconds from the leader, Noah Shawinski, to Russ Lundberg on back. We are underway here at the Texas Motor Speedway in the Race on Texas 200. No limits. 4 races to the playoffs. The pressure's on. We're side by side, so you don't miss a thing. Coverage continues, presented by Tom Ditchell Automotive Group. And there's a look at your sawblade.com top 5. Noah Shawinski, Chris White, Dan West Jr., Lake Peterson, Casey Garber, your top 5. If anything happens, we'll break in. Coverage on LSRTV. And for those that are listening on CRN, the Community Radio Network.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
.25 laps in, saw blade top 5, still no change. Noah Shawinski leading the way. Chris White still in that number 2 position after, of course, Jeff Stapp now started this race on the pole. There's another battle going on between a couple of veteran drivers. Dan Lowther, Carl Burke, they both made the playoffs last year. Will they be in it this year? Time is running out. Greg Rentz with 4 races to go.
Both drivers fighting. They need to come in clutch. And Dan Lowther did just that last year at Talladega, winning the final race of the regular season to get into the playoffs in must-win position, as him is chiming in our ear right now. But yeah, the playoffs always coming down to the nitty-gritty and the very end. It came down to the very end of the last race of the regular season last year for Dan Lowther to get himself in. So this is going to be something very, very unique, these last 3 races.
There is the entire field now scattered across the racetrack. Russ Lundberg in the 30th position on the back straightaway. The leader is now exiting on the coming on to the back straightaway, exiting turn 2. Just about another couple of laps or so. They might be reeling him in to put him a lap down. 30 cars on the racetrack as Ryan Maines is the first retiree of this event as we approach lap number 30. Noah Shawinski, Chris White, Dan West Jr., Lake Peterson, Casey Garber, your top 5 as they flash across the start-finish line.
Saw the side-by-side there between West and Peterson for the 3rd spot. You look at Chris White in 2nd. There's that battle between Peterson and West. 2 drivers, no stranger to victory lane. And Lake Peterson has taken the Northwest Racing Series specifically by storm here this season, joining us for the season finale last year and then committing to a full season this year. All he's done is win, 6 races this year and be able to be on a tear and in position just about every single week. Lake Peterson, a guy we're going to be talking about for years to come in this series.
Could be for sure as we watch him now. Shawinski out in front. There is Lake Peterson. The man has, what has he got, 6 wins on the year?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, I know it's up there.
What a season he's had. I mean, you know he's punched his ticket in the playoffs. Without question. Wow, high above. All-American pools with a special blimp shot there out of nowhere. It's all good.
Like an RKO out of nowhere?
He's happy to be here. Yeah, like an RKO out of nowhere. Yeah, you're very good. Yes. Got Hutchinson the 91 on pit road now, Greg. Yes.
He's been kind of tracking near the back here today. The first ever winner in the Northwest ARCA Series, won the season opener at Daytona, but the luck has just not been there here in the Cup Series or the Truck Series when he makes a start there. He's run the full Cup season, but limited starts in the Truck Series just hasn't had the luck. You look at a guy who has had some great luck here over the last 2 years in the Cup Series, Sean Brightsman, the defending series champion. Look at this shot as he gets right up there with Garber and West Jr. That's a three-car battle for fourth right now.
Nice three-car battle. As there you see Kevin Smith trying to hold off that. Oh, yeah, well, nice. Watching him there, Sean Brightsman. And my apologies, it's actually Casey Garber, the 94 car. Garber up the racetrack, Atlanta winner, down to the inside. Here comes Sean Brightsman. He's got a couple of wins this year. I think he's got 3 or 4 wins. Dan West Jr. right there with him, the all-time winner so far this year on the Northwest iRacing Cup Series has been, of course, Lake Peterson.
Peterson's up to third, by the way, as Noah Sherwinski, the third amigo of the Northwest, or the Beaver State Bumblebees, he leads the way right now. He's the only driver who has yet to be on the pole or in victory lane for the Bumblebees this year. So he's having a great run here in the number 96. But he's under pressure because here comes Chris White, guy who won at this track last year.
Just under 100 laps to go as well as Chris White closing in here.
Oh.
So there's a bonus if we get the winner?
All right, our producer has made things a little bit spicy for us here in the tower. Our producer has just offered up $25.
So if Lake Peterson's on pit lane, Lake Peterson is in the 09.
We'll talk more about that once I believe this cycle of pit stops is going to be over. Our picks in by lap 40?
Can we have our picks in by halfway?
Oh,
that's
Lake
not
Peterson.
Fair. Trouble, Lake Peterson. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man, gosh, a guy who does not make hardly any mistakes.
Well, there went my pick.
You didn't make it. You never made it. You never made the pick. It's not official. You're good.
No, I never made it official. You're exactly right, though.
You know what? I'm good. All right, I am going
I will tell.
to...
Are we making picks now? We
gotta make picks. Our producer said we gotta have him in by lap 40. He is.
Well, let's lead announcer. I get there first.
All right, fine.
I'm going with Sean Brightsman.
You're going Brightsman. You know what? I'm going to go Chris White. He's looking very strong so far.
All right.
All right, so.
And this is on top of our broadcast pay, right? Oh, huh. All right. Yeah. I'm going with Sean Brightsman. Sean, you're my hero. You better win or you become zero.
I'm taking Chris White. He won at this track last year, and he's looking very stout. Has a win on the 1.5 miles this year already.
Oh, darn. I forgot about that. Can I retract my previous statement? Can we split the money?
No. So our producer throwing down some bonus money. I like this. Can we make this a normal thing? I like this idea.
And by the way, as we continue to watch Noah Sherwinski leading the way, green flag pit stop should be coming up here in probably the next 10 to 15 laps, if less than that.
West Jr., top 5 car on pit road.
Wow.
He has damage. He has been fading. He had fallen back to 10th before he made it to pit road. So he has damage on the front of that 55 car.
Cars dropping on pit lane speed. They better slow it down so they don't get penalized. And there is my pick right there. Hopefully we will see what he can do. As now also Dan West Jr. has just left the pit lane. Carl Burke left the pit lane. John Ottenbacher on the pit lane. Troy Daggett goes off track, and then he comes back on the racetrack. And we've got green flag pit stops actually beginning. Scratch that 10 to 15 lap window. It's happening right now, Greg Rentz.
Yeah, it's on, and I think most of this is because some drivers short pitted, whether or not intentional or just I can't handle this car anymore with the damage. But several drivers had to short pit, so I think that forced the hand of several other drivers here.
Noah Sherinsky still leads. Chris White second. Sean Brightsman up 10 spots now. He's my pick in the third position. Casey Garber is fourth. Stephen O'Hare fifth. Hayden Anderson, B.J. Tidrick, Cole Raz, Kevin Smith, Ryan Bloom in the top 10, by the way. Green flag pit stops are underway. More cars onto the pit lane. Ottenbacher off the pit lane. Aaron Cooper is in. Toby Ritters enters the pit lane. Green flag pit stops. And, Greg, I know we were just talking about pit stops going on, but guess what? We've got Texas today, Phoenix next week, Kentucky, Talladega. What a great 3 races we have coming up before Labor Day break to start the playoffs.
Perfect way to end the regular season with Talladega, but 3 unique racetracks to finish this off. 3 very different types of racing.
5 unique racetracks.
5 unique racetracks, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the final 3 coming up. You've got mile and a half, the mile Phoenix, and then you got Talladega, the wild card of racing. So these next 3 races, Monday nights here on LSRTV, going to be wild to say the least.
Somebody back onto the pit lane. Aaron Cooper just come off the pit lane. Dan West Jr. getting around Judd Wakefield for the 21st position, and Toby Ritter is going around Rudd Lundberg. He had some trouble. Top 30 in 26th position. And while that goes on, we await the front pack cars to come down to the pit lane. Green flag pit stops underway. Noah Sherinsky is still the man leading in this race.
You see the fast repair already showing effect on Dan West Jr. He's ripping through the field right now in that number 50. He does not have one for the rest of the race, and we've seen what can happen. 2 more cars that were up in the top 10 on pit road now. Casey Garber and that other one was that pulled down pit road, but 2 drivers in the top 10 coming down pit road. Oh, another Bumblebee with a little bit of an issue on pit road.
Wow,
that was Justin Yee in the 66. Tyler King, Racetrack King, on pit road also.
And I think Russ Lundberg possibly having a problem as well. He's on the pit lane. Pit out exit for Frank Harris. A whole gaggle of cars onto the pit lane now, including the MGD colors of Briar Reynolds. He's in the pit lane.
Chris
Matt
White.
Gilder, James Thurston, Tyler King, Justin Yee. All these cars in the pit lane. And the leaders are coming in too, Greg. Here comes Chris White. You're begin. Jeff Stabnow in.
Yep, Jeff Stabnow and Chris White, the guy I picked here in our producer challenge. Here's Stabnow coming into pit stall number 1. You know he's going to be happy to get that damage repaired. Here comes Noah Sherinsky, the leader, giving the lead over to Brightsman.
Leader is in. Sherinsky onto the pit lane as they work their way back down. Got to make sure you hit your marks. Do not make no mistakes. Do not get busted for speeding, obviously, because if you speed just like real NASCAR, you suffer a penalty. 86 laps to go. Lap 67 will be halfway in this 200-mile contest for 134 laps here at the Texas Motor Speedway. 14.67 second pit stop for Noah Sherinsky. That's pretty good.
Fantastic. The Bumblebee car of Sherinsky has been very, very strong here this evening. Leading laps, good to see him up front. Now the field beginning to get spread out, though, because of pit stops. You see this battle right now is for second between Anderson and Tidrick. West is trying to get his lap back in the 55. Anderson and Tidrick just let him go. West's most recent win came at Rockingham in the Cup Series a few weeks ago, as Anderson trying to hold off Tidrick for second right now. Right now, our
top 9 cars have not pitted at the moment. From Brightsman down to Daggett, they have not pitted. But you know they got to come in. My pick right now, Sean Brightsman. He's out in pick. He is not afraid to thread the needle. And they're going to go 3 wide in the middle. It's almost Kevin Smith. battling with Peterson.
Skipped the beat there with my pick being right in the
Chris
middle
White
of
in
it.
the path. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris White, my pick for this one in the mix there.
Down to turn number 3. We're working lap number 50. Still waiting for green flag pit stops to fully cycle. Down the entire scoring pylon of the old 31 starters. Sean Brightsman leads, Caden Anderson is second, BJ Tidrick third, Kevin Smith is fourth, and Ryan Bloom the top 5. Then it's Corey Daggett, Casey Tillman, and Greg Rentz, Dan West Jr., your top 10.
Rolling down in the 11th spot right now is Chris White in the 09 in 12th. They're trying to fight their way back up on the lead lap. Noah Sherwinski, Stephen O'Hare, Casey Garber, your top 15. Judd Wakefield, Carl Burke, John Ottenbach, 20.
Justin Yee is in 21st. Tyler King and all these cars a lap down the scoring pylon as well. 23rd for Stephen Paulison. Briar Reynolds 24th. James Thurston Harris a lap down in 26th. 2 laps down is Aaron Cooper and Matt Gelder 27th and 28th. Then it's Russ Lundberg 6 laps down. 30th is Scott Hutchinson. 20th of the race 31 laps down, and that is Ryan Maines. And that is your full field rundown here at Texas. Don Brightsman, he razzle-dazzle back out there again. The number 10, one of the Alan Kawicki driver development machines in real racing on the Spears SRL Southwest Tour. And Greg, what's this big race coming up in September at Meridian Speedway? We definitely got to get the winner of that event on finish line. I saw something about it yesterday on social media.
Oh, I cannot wait for that. Finished 4th in that event last year. He's on pit road right now. That's Dan Lowther's home track. Where's that number 63 Northwest Sugar Camaro at? Because it's his home track. We're going to talk about him. He's competing in that race. Anderson competing in one of those races. There's Lowther. It's his home track, Meridian Speedway in Meridian, Idaho. And this is Dan Lowther's home track. This race, the biggest race of the year. 4 classes of late models coming to Meridian here on that weekend, August 27th and 28th, headlined by a 208 lap, 20,000 to win race on a flat quarter-mile oval. Not quite flat like Bowman Gray. There's a little bit of banking, but kind of same concept. But 1 set of Hoosier 1070 tires, 20,000 to win that main event, August 27th and 28th. That is going to be a massive one.
We'll try to have the winner on, of course, finish line. We'll definitely get him on. Lap 57 of 134. Change for the lead, flip-flopping between Kevin Smith, BJ Tidrick. Tidrick has not won since Darlington of last year. His only win of the Northwest Racing Series Cup division, and now he sits in second. Kevin Smith has been really strong the last couple of weeks, Greg. We could see a good run out of him, but again, we await these cars to have to pit.
To come down pit road. Oh, Brightsman, did he get up in the wall there a little bit, or was he able to keep it off? I saw that Brights Boutique Toyota Camry get a little bit squirrely there off of turn number 2. As I think we're maybe going to see Tidrick pull down pit road. Nope, not this.
This is to put him back on the lead lap. The 46, he's on the tail end.
He needs to get past Kevin Smith, who's the current race leader. Casey Tillman in another Caden Anderson racing car. Hey, he's another Meridian local. He drives sprint cars down there. He picked up a big win at Wenatchee and is hunting an NSRA championship in the sprint car. Can't talk about Meridian without talking about tear in the wing sprint cars as of late.
Smith, Tidrick, Bloom, Lowther, Daggett, top 5. There's Tibbs in behind him is Wakefield, but Wakefield is a lap down car. He's the last car on the lead lap, and he's trying to get, or last car on the is a lap down. He's on the tail. All of this happening through a cycle of pit stops. Green flag, 50 laps in, 17 to halfway. And, of course, 74 to the finish here at No Limits, Texas. Greg Rentz.
Halfway point as BJ Tidrick in the number 72. And he's got a little bit of damage, it looks like, on the right rear of that car. Look at the run Caden Anderson got there on those fresh of the racetrack to try to get as much ground gained as he can. Anderson in the number 37 making moves, trying to get back on the lead lap here.
cars still needing to pit in that top 5. Thank you, sir. Tyler Daggett, those cars have not pitted. And while that goes on, contact down to the bottom. Bloom below the apron almost. And a save as Tendrick got by, as well as fighting cars, trying to get back on the tail end of the lead lap, Greg Rentz. It's getting antsy.
Second place to one of the Caden Anderson cars. Casey Tillman getting all kinds of top 5 still yet to pit. The net race leader is the 83 of Chris White, followed by Noah Sherwinski. And remember, it was those two that were battling for the lead before that cycle of green flag pit stops. We've got guys that one of these cars is not Sean Brightsman. He's already been down pit road. As here comes Tendrick in the 72, coming down pit road from second spot.
Bloom having a scare a moment ago, saving his car. Here comes Tendrick again on the pit lane. All these cars fighting to get back their lap in front of the leaders. At a time of caution, remember, down, which would right now be John Audenbacher, would get his lap back. But now Audenbacher is on the lead lap. So is Tyler King back on the lead lap. Carl Burke now, the car lap down. And we have a yellow flag on the speedway. Trouble on the racetrack on lap 65. Russ Lundberg, Troy Daggett might have also got a piece of it in 51. Greg, this is just a mixture of lap cars and cars in the lead lap fighting for position, and something went wrong.
Our first Bolt Hoppers instant replay of the night. Let's take a look at what happened.
Into 3 and 4.
Ooh, there
right
it is.
There. Couple of cars getting together.
I saw Toby Ritter.
We'll show it again from another angle.
I do not believe he was involved. Here's the 129 of Russ Lundberg.
That's Russ Lundberg, and we saw Troy Daggett also pulling away in 51. Coincidence or not?
This is coming off of turn number 4. This is going into turn number 3.
Possibly understanding Clifford. Toby Ritters might have got caught
Lundberg
up in
the wall.
Yep, there you go. Well,
Fight. Oh, he held onto it there.
Oh, it's Brian Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds tries to squeeze by on the outside, runs out of room, hits the wall, and bounces into the 129 of Lundberg. As we're on pit road, pit stops under caution here, Wesley.
Everybody's coming down to the pit lane. For those that did not even decide to come to the pits, this is a perfect break for them, Greg Rentz.
This is huge for them. This is going to pin many, many drivers a lap down.
Onto the pit lane. Garber's in. O'Hare, West, White. He also, Sherwinski, Reynolds caught up in that accident with Lundberg. Jeff Stab now, pit stall 1. Ryan Bloom is out. White squilling tires. Race off pit road. It is Bloom over White. I love that camera.
So this is going to change everything. We're going to let them all sort out. And we'll check in with the rundown.
67 laps to go. And while we have a break under this yellow flag, we're going to try to grab a word with Kevin Smith, get his thoughts on how things are going in that 00 machine, as he is currently the leader on the racetrack, part of the Thunder Road Racing team. We'll get his thoughts and see what his possibilities could be tonight. Could it be finally that the team out of Thunder Road, and of course the Hermiston, Washington driver of Mr. Kevin Smith, can finally find victory lane? Kevin, you're in the broadcast booth. How you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing okay, guys. How are you?
Everything going good right now. You're out in front. First caution. And that's got to be an improvement, because normally the last couple of weeks in transition, the opening laps have been calamity. We went 65 laps before the first yellow flag. You're in the lead right now. You're taking the race.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I ran the ARCA race on Friday night, had a good showing there, and feel pretty good. A little under the weather, just trying to keep it together here for, about another 70, 80 laps.
Greg Grinch, you got anything for our buddy here, Mr. Kevin Smith?
Kevin making the Hermiston area proud here and leading the way. How much has that ARCA series benefited you this year? We've talked about it a couple of times on air, but I don't think we've actually gotten your words from it, as you have been very strong in that ARCA series, including a win earlier this year. How much has that benefited you this year?
That seat time's invaluable. I ran the ARCA race Friday night here at Texas and actually won. So I think that plays a huge part, and we'll see if we can hold them off.
Kevin, real quick, I just wanted to ask you before Wesley gets back. Am I going to see you down there for the Labor Day Spectacular at Hermiston Raceway?
You may see me there. We're going to try to get out there. Yes, sir.
Let's do it. 3 days of racing. All right,
promoting real racing, promoting iRacing as well, and Kevin Smith right now. Sean Brightsman onto the pit lane, giving up second spot. He's coming back down to the pit lane, so we'll have to follow on that story in just a couple of moments. That's going to bump up Ryan Bloom to the second spot, Chris White to third. But Kevin, man, could tonight be the night for you to go to victory lane? Are you comfortable with your truck right now?
Well, yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. I mean, I got myself in a couple bad situations and, got moved back there a little bit, but I felt like I was driving back to the front and just being patient. That's, if I can be patient, that's where I have my better races.
All right, buddy, go get him again. The Tom Denchel Automotive Group entry. Jeff keeping an eye on Kevin Smith, and we'll watch and see if the man for Thunder Road can bring that car to victory lane. Field on the back straightaway. Lights are off on the pace car. Greg, we're ready to re-rack them and restack them for the field to come back to the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone. And it's going to be Kevin Smith, who we just got done speaking with on in-car communication. Ryan Bloom on the outside. He's coming off of a top 3 finish road course racing last week at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Where can he be tonight as well? Good run for him.
We will see how this one plays out. Restart just past halfway in this one. Kevin Smith going to lead him to green. Ryan Bloom, Chris White, Dan West Jr., and one of the Bumblebees up there in the top 5. Green flag in the air. We're back on their way here in Texas.
Kevin Smith will hit the loud pedal. They'll put that gas pedal to the floor. Virtual manifold down into turn number 1 and 2. Down to the firewall, off of turn 2 to the back straightaway, back up to speed as Smith pulls away. White and Bloom, West right there. They're all going to stay single file. They're going to break back into formation just after halfway. It's Kevin Smith over White. Your pick out of 4.
As they settle down, we're going to begin lap number 71. White putting pressure on Kevin Smith right now, as Noah Sherwinski, who had a very strong car in the first half of the race, leading laps, he's trying to fight his way back up there to get up to Dan West Jr. for fourth, as Bloom settles in behind White. Here comes Chris White, winner of this race last year, taking a peek to the bottom of Smith as they come off of 4 to begin lap number 72.
Chris White down on the inside, trying to make a move on Kevin Smith. The number 73 will be the number we will remember for a epitome of a esteemed, successful broadcaster that passed away after an 8-month battle with cancer, a colleague, a friend. From IndyCars to NASCAR, from ESPN to NBC, LSRTV and CRN says Godspeed to Bob Jenkins on this salute lap to him. And as Bob Jenkins would said, whether virtual or reality, because he enjoyed being a part of both. Remember EA Sports and NASCAR 98, 99, 2000? He did a lot of voiceovers for that as well as the real races. The Pulse Popper instant replay as we are under the yellow flag for the second time. Jeff Stabnow, Dan Lowther getting together in turn number 1. We'll recap the caution, Greg, and then I'll let you give your thoughts on the passing of one of the great pioneers of broadcasting, Bob Jenkins.
See what happened here with Lowther. You see him break a little loose right there, getting a little arrow loose there. Side draft with Cole Raz going a little wrong there. Fights it, makes the save, and then some contact there between Stabnow and Lowther. Can we possibly take a look from the blimp cam from All-American Pools?
If Lowther wouldn't have bumped him the second time, Greg, Stabnow might have been able to save that car.
I want to see if we can possibly get another angle, because that transition, that almost looked to me like just the slightest bit of connection issues / net code.
Wow.
I want to see if we can get a different angle of it, because that almost to me looked like just a tad bit of net code. Let's see if we can pick him up. The 63 and the 24. We're going to have to go back a little bit. You see the 24 already out of shape there. All right, this should tell the story. It's going to be coming up here on the next lap. Stabnow in the 24. Trying to get pressure there on Lowther. You see Lowther make the move to the inside of Cole Raz. You're going to see a little bit of side draft go wrong between the 63 and the number 10. Right about here. Right there. You see the 63 bobble. Now watch off a turn here. It almost to me... No.
Yeah, it looked like that. Yeah, I don't think Lowther got into him.
That one wasn't that good.
The first contact, Lowther didn't get into him. The second time, he did, but it looked like netcode was the cause of that caution. 76 of 134. Greg, your thoughts of one of the great broadcasters of the industry, passing of Mr. Bob Jenkins?
You know, when I was growing up, Bob Jenkins was on the call dang near every single cup race that I watched. I mean, I can remember races in the late 90s and Bob Jenkins' iconic voice being on the TV almost every single Sunday. And Bob Jenkins has been just a part of so many great moments, not just in NASCAR, but just in motorsports in general. One of the most iconic voices in all of racing. And I was gutted to hear the news earlier today that he had unfortunately lost his battle with cancer. A huge part of not just my childhood, but I think it's a safe venture to say Bob Jenkins was a part of the childhoods of just about every driver in this series, or at least a part of their lives, as some of the drivers may not have been kids during that time in this series. But Bob Jenkins, without a doubt, a part of so many race fans' lives, and we at LSRTV are just so sad to hear about the loss of Bob Jenkins today, an icon of motorsports broadcasting. And Bob, this race tonight is for you.
Not going to lie, as a grown man, I shed a tear, in my opinion, and I will say this humbly. He is the American golden voice of motorsports. As you said, Greg, I remember listening to him first time in the 80s, early 80s, or late 80s, early 90s, when I got hooked in this thing called racing. And there's anybody that's in the broadcast industry, obviously the old cliche is you always want to be yourself, never try to be something you're not. But if there's anybody that wants to try to make it in this broadcast industry, you want to try to do it right, and you wanted to try to mimic and try to see the caliber of talent that he had, for sure. From what he did with USAC and Thursday Night Thunder to Saturday Night Thunder, with what he did 4 years with 4 people, with producing what used to be a weekly short track show on national TV, Speed Week, something that we should get back to doing again that has not been done since the late 80s. To what he done on NASCAR, to the IndyCar, to the Indy 500 and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Radio Network, to the great finish that'll be probably the closest ever in Indy 500 history in '92 between Scott Goodyear and Al Unser Jr., the exciting call to the checkered flag. Those exciting moments of racing, those memories will live on. Godspeed to a colleague and one of the best pioneers in the broadcast industry of motorsports, Bob Jenkins. And as he would say, the show must go on. Green flag is about to wave for the restart. And I will say this in closing as a quote by the great Bob Jenkins. And this is what he said to his last time to fans before his passing. All I want to be is remembered as a race fan who got a job in radio and TV, and for some reason, people liked me. We liked you, Bob Jenkins, and we continue this race in your memory. Green flag back in the air on lap 78 of 134, and your pick, Greg Rentz, trying to get a little bonus money of Chris White is out in front.
Chris White in the number 83, out in front. Dan West Jr. in the 55, trying to put the pressure on. Oh, trouble in the back.
Oh no.
Justin Yee.
Justin Yee, Frank Harris, cars, Wakefield in the grass. We've got big calamity. James Thurston, I believe, got caught up in it as well in the 2 car.
Not sure if he was caught up in it or he was just shooting down pit road.
Caution out for the 3rd time. Watch this. Boy, oh boy, gaggle of traffic. Look at them all bunched up with each other. That is a wad of traffic just ready to break loose. That's a hurricane. And look at them banging. Oh, my goodness, right in front of my pick, Brightsman.
That was Casey Carver.
Some more cars. And so was Thurston. He went down the pit lane. He might not have been part of it, but he went roaring down the pit lane to avoid it. Wow. You know, Greg, that's kind of crazy. We went almost 65 laps green flag, and now we've had 2 cautions or 3 cautions in the last 13 laps, might I add. On board, Judd Wakefield in the 50 car. It all breaks loose in front of him, and then he has nowhere to go. Bam! Is that Garber? I think he got into the back of Garber's car, Greg.
He did. He ran right into the back of him.
Heavy contact from behind. And there is Hank Harris about turned into Wakefield on pit lane. You know, I always get that sponsor confused on that car, but it is Vape Pub. We're under caution, 80 laps into it. We'll take a quick break. More coverage in a moment. LSRTV, CRN Sports coverage of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series. And this is the Race on Texas 200.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the back stretch. Here comes Jamie Frederick.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Getting ready to go back for the restart here as the caution lights are still on the pace car. Our coverage continues on LSRTV and on the Community Radio Network. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland here with you. Oh my goodness, Chris White having some ink and blink and nod issues. Your pick,
Oh
Greg.
boy. That makes me a little nervous.
So give that guy an internet boost, give him a boost charge or something.
I'm on my way down to his house right now to get him ready.
Like, don't lose your internet, whatever you do. Chris White coming off of a win at Charlotte earlier in the year. CWR Racing Entry Ford. We got Dan West Jr. right behind him. Welcome back, of course. Again, Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. We have also Charles Whitten in the production chair, Jeff Stabnow, Rocket Media, and we welcome you to coverage of the Race on Texas 200. Thanks to Chris David for sponsoring this event. More information at raceontexas.com. John Brightsman looking, of course, for his 5th win of the year. He is the points leader. Blake Peterson, 6 wins on the year. Christopher White has 1. Dan West Jr. with 3. Stephen Paulison with 1. Devin West with 1. Cole Raz with 1. And no more. Settle for everyone else. So that's the way the win columns have been broken down this year. Greg, could we see somebody break through and get another win? First time win on the season, or are we going to see a repeat winner tonight? You're going with
The repeat winner, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, Kevin Smith getting right up on the back bumper of Sherwinski. You, boy. That inside line getting a little bottleneck there on this.
Talk about a lot of wheel spin, and they negotiate fine into 1 and 2. We're back underway.
The field
Back straight away.
Things down.
Yes, sir.
Chris White breaking away.
Off of turn 4, Ritters, Lowther down to the inside. He got caught up in an accident earlier with Jeff Stabnow. Here after the 51 of Troy Daggett on the inside. Briar Reynolds also involved in a caution earlier. There's the Verizon colors of BJ Tidrick. Kevin Smith, who led earlier, what a difference a couple of laps makes. He was at one point up in the lead. Now he's fell back into the top 11 as Daggett gets sucked.
Garber pinned back there right now as you look at Toby Ritters in the 23. Dan Lowther trying to fight his way back up. Jeff Stabnow, they were caught up in accidents earlier today. Try to fight their way through. There's Carl Burke trying to get around Kevin Smith. Bring Tyler King with him in the 21. There's your pick, Sean Brightsman, trying to fight back up through the field. He's in 7th right now.
Field going back into turn number 1 and 2. Chris White, Caden Anderson, Derwinski, O'Hare, top 5. You finally noticed that? It's only at the last screen. Oh, no, it's all of them. Never mind. They'll never notice. Don't ask. Caution's out.
Caution.
Yellow flag is out. Lights illuminate around Texas. We got a problem.
Garber
Car in the grass. I
94.
think it's Casey Garber and 94. Casey Garber, blue, green. We're in Tillman. Greg, possibly.
Garber, I think Dan Lowther may have been up there in it.
We find it. If it happened,
All right, here it is.
our cameraman will find it.
See Troy Daggett.
Oh,
Daggett got
into
loose
Lowther.
there. Kevin Smith was in the wall.
Blake Peterson in the grass. Lowther in the
two
wall,
separate
Peterson in the
incidents. We'll take
grass,
a-
and somehow
we'll take a
they
look at
saved
the
their
second.
act.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the second incident here. Lowther and Daggett, the teammates for Team Ramrod, get together.
Oh, yeah. We'll watch it right
Casey
here.
Garber
Watch
was in
this.
front of this.
Daggett into Lowther.
There's Peterson.
Daggett
getting caught
into
up in it.
Peterson. And Peterson about got into Lowther again, and then he said, "I'm driving in the grass, buddy. I'm gonna practice landscaping.
And now let's see if we can pick up the 0-0 of Smith.
I'm
Or
gonna
Kevin
pick a new
Smith and
career.
see what the heck
I'm
happened?
gonna What are you talking about? That was turf actually. But anyhow, this again, another angle.
So Kevin
Got around
Smith,
with
he was
Kevin.
the one that we saw having some issues up in front of them. You see him drifting up the track, just gets the wall, bounces off
Oh
Tidrick.
man. Credit announcer Jinx, Greg. I was talking about what a good job what Kevin was doing earlier, and man, I ain't talking
After the fact, our scoring is saying something may have happened to Stephen O'Hare after the fact as well. We'll have to see if something happened there, but I think it might be too late to try to figure that out.
Well, I wonder if there's still any netcode car pick 83, Chris White, even though he is still leading. Lap 90 coming up.
Closing stages here at Texas.
Money bonus up for grabs if right now. Greg's in the catbird seat. My car's in 7th. 45 laps to go. 45 laps to go. Far we had the 65 laps, close to 70, 67 laps, 68 lap green flag run, then the caution, and yeah.
You got called out.
Gary Wakefield, I was
Don't read it word for word.
I never said
It was implied.
it was implied because that's kind of like what the logo looks like all over the, see it on social media, see it on the web. So if you can put it on the race car,
I don't know. Let's put it on a race car and find out. Ah!
oh, that's hard. Space. I've never. Thank you to one of our avid fans, Gary Wakefield. Now you can delete that message if you don't mind. This is child entertainment. This is the children's show. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I have explicit on the broadcast, so it's, I guess to each their own, right?
We're demonetized.
I mean, it's late night. It is late night. The freaks come out at night. What can I say? It was. Thank you, Sherry Wakefield. Lap 90. And we are ready to come back for the restart. Field will make their way back on the parts restart zone. It will be officially 43 laps to go. Turn 3 and 4. Pace car getting ready to scamper from the field. Chris White, Dan Anderson with a good run, sitting there in 3rd. Justin Yee 4th. Noah Shawinski there.
What a run for Sherwinski in the 96, Wesley, as we go back green. But how about it? Caden Anderson has played his cards right, and he has worked his way up into the top 3 now. Closing in on 100 laps in the books. More connection issues from Chris White as Anderson gets the 2nd.
It might happen. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Here they come to the straightaway. Chris White, I mean, I didn't even think about it, Greg. He literally won last year. You said he won Charlotte. Charlotte is so similar to Texas. You're right. Here comes my pick, though. Brightsman going 3 wide down on the bottom. 3 or 4 spots going after O'Hare out of turn 4. This is to get in the top 5.
Brightsman really has taken on the closer role as of late. No surprise to see him showing his hand here at the end in the top 5.
The sleeper. By the way, quick statistic. Remember, Greg, this race at Texas last year in the finale for the Northwest Cup Series to advance to the championship 4 at Phoenix and win.
He did win that race as well. So, man, again, 3 visits to this track last year for this series. Once in March, once in the summer, and once to set up the finale.
Right. We just love. Texas had the All-Star race here this year for NASCAR, and I thought it was a pretty damn good one. Except for I can't drive 65, as Charles just said. Yeah,
I just like the winner of the All-Star race was Kyle Larson.
Anderson, West, Jawinski, Brightsman, my pick up to 5th. There goes Anderson and Dan West Jr. now for second. Close it in, Greg, on 40 laps to go, under 40 to go, and lap 100.
Under 40 to go. As you see Sherwinski trying to size up Dan West Jr. I'm so impressed with Sherwinski right now. Great run for the Bumblebees as Peterson and Yee have had issues today. Noah Sherwinski, the flag bearer for the Bumblebees this week. And here he comes for third.
Yeah.
Wesley, your pick trying to crack the top 5.
Gotta believe. He's trying to be there, you know that. Not count out Caden Anderson. We
You
can't.
can never, believe it or not, but he has dominated in the trucks for his staple. Believe it or not, but he has dominated in the trucks for his staple. At one point, winning 3 races in a row in the trucks, or was it 4?
I think so.
And he's closing in on Chris White. They have separated from Sherwinski and company. That's the battle for the lead right there. Chris Watson.
And he has quite a run going for him right now. In that car, thing can happen there as the laps continue to tick away. White and Anderson seconds back, 1.2 seconds back on the interval. Sherwinski, good run to third. Brightsman 4th. And we are closing in on 30 to go.
Stephen O'Hare up in the top 5 now in the number 41 for Beaver State Racing. Not to be confused with the Beaver State Bumblebees in that number 41. A truck win this season to his credit, but no cup wins still. But another top 5 run for the American Touch-Up Ford.
Greg, as we approach the final 30 laps of this event, how about 4 cars still on the lead lap?
What a race this has been. 4 cautions on the day. But it hasn't been a whole lot crashing and bashing. It's really just been on the initial restarts that we had the issues.
Right.
Once we get some long green flag laps in, we're able to go quite a bit. Remember, our first caution was the first caution.
Actually, I think it was before that because we had the tribute. It was actually, yes, it was. And then the second caution, we've had a wealth of cautions right on the green flag restarts, whether it's bunching up in traffic, spinning tires, something of that caliber. And it has been Chris White since probably lap number 80, lead 5, if you will. It's
Remember,
White, Anderson, Sherwinski, Brightsman, O'Hare, top 5. Go ahead, Greg.
Remember, it was Stabnow leading the first 15 laps or so, and then Noah Sherwinski way up to that cycle of pit stops. Since then, it's been the Chris White show.
That's right. And my goodness, my colleague Greg Rentz gets a nice little $25 bonus. I get $10 just for playing.
Nice try.
I tried.
Very good try. Very good try. I would have done the same thing.
I tried publicly.
You know what I always say when we do 50-50 broadcasts at
you get half and I get half. Whoever loses, they still get half, right?
No. I always say you take home 50% of the pot. I take 50% of that. I always say that they're giving me 50. I always say they're giving me 50% of their 50%.
Yeah.
or they have to buy every person over the age of 21 to be proud.
Oh, wow. Yeah, nothing like promoting alcohol sales.
Hey, you got to do it. If they're over the age of 21, you got to do it. And they have to show valid ID, him.
Well, we hope you're 21 or older watching this. We're going to go side by. There is your saw blade top 5 on the top left. Chris White looking to get his second win of the year. North, and Chris White is my colleague's pick, and he's trying to get a little money bonus. Caden Anderson, Noah Shawinski, and Stefan O'Hare are trying to be in the top deals. We'll take you to the checkered flag when we return with the Race on Texas 200 from Texas on LSRTV and CRN.
New race lead down the back stretch.
Here comes Training Partner.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Zing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. A full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
Shootout time. He'll back to coverage. Frank Harris down below the bottom of the apron. It is the Northwest iRacing Cup Series tonight from Texas Motor Speedway, the Race on Texas 200. Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. Charles Wood doing a phenomenal job and always making us sound good. And we are coming to you live as we rock and roll LSRTV and CRN final remaining question. Does anybody pit to the finish?
We'll have to see. The final pit stop cycle falls right about where that first pit to the finish from that restart. So it'll be kind of interesting. We may see a fuel mileage race here, which is why I think you're seeing some guys start to back it down. And looking at the gap, I think because they have begun to close in on them little by little up there at the front as you watch Ottenbacher trying to fall through the field. But up front, it's beginning to heat up a little bit between White, Anderson, O'Hare up there as well.
It'll be a good one. Down to the stretch they come. It has been. Who will survive? Who will make it work at the end of this thing here? We'll do it again on Wednesday. 20 laps to go here at No Limits, Texas. Bets, people.
Closing stages here in the Race on Texas 200. 20 laps to go. Make it 19 at the line for Chris White in the second spot right now.
It might be glitching. It is. Yeah.
Wrightsman up.
Thanks for everybody letting us know. Yep.
Past Sherwinski.
Greg, as we approach the closing 20 laps in the way of the leaders.
In the number 11, dipping down pit road. 18 to go. It's going to be very interesting to see what comes down pit road.
Gotta wonder if green flag pit stops is going to happen.
You know Brightsman's not going to pit. You know Sean Brightsman's going to go.
And that's the reason why I rolled the dice on him, because he's just one of those guys that'll do it. And down, Caden Anderson for the second spot for P2. Down the back straightaway at Texas. 6 cars for the lead. From one with under 17 to go. This time by 16 at the line. Certainly did. And it is all down to the wire now. as well.
Yeah, West. But these guys right here have the advantage.
Fine.
All in line behind O'Hare, and now try to draft back
12, 11.
to get up there. You see Brightsman has lost touch with that gap. That damage on the 46 seems to spell the end of the day for Brightsman if this thing stays green to the finish.
Oh.
And here comes Anderson closing in on Chris White.
I wonder if he was just playing possum and now he's ready to reel him in.
Anderson may have been saving. He may have been saving. Remember, he lost the race at Rockingham in the year. Doesn't want to make that same mistake. Now he's back in the opposite position. He's going to have 7 laps to try to get around Chris White here.
To the line. 7 to go. Races remain after tonight. On to Phoenix next week. Turn 2, back straightaway. Anderson. Does he got anything for White? Lap traffic in the way. Wakefield down out of the way, out of the harm's way. Yes, sir. Yep.
Great job by Judd Wakefield to move out of the way, let the leaders go by, and settle it between them.
I finally figured it out. Sherry Wakefield is, I guess, Judd Wakefield's boyfriend or
what?
Girlfriend or wife. Yeah, Sherry Wakefield. Sherry Wakefield, wow. Judd Wakefield.
Oh, Anderson slides up the track. Here comes West Jr. Dan West Jr. has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
Wakefield and Wakefield.
He's up to second.
Why you say what for? Wakefield and Wakefield. This is his mommy or his sister. It's his wife. Okay, thank you. Thank you for playing. It's 5 to go, 4 to go.
And West Jr. has gotten around Anderson. And Chris White loves seeing this battle in his mirror because that's allowing him to focus purely on what's going on out the windshield. But Dan West Jr. closing in. As White, you saw him there on the backstretch trying to break the draft that West Jr. had gathered up on that number 83 car. Let's see what they can do. 4 more trips around Texas.
4 laps to go. And now White in the hot seat. Here comes West and Anderson. O'Hare and Brightsman have lost ground on these cars. Caution! Changes everything!
This
Yellow
is going to
flag
change the
is out in
entire
Texas.
complexion. The entire
Yellow flag
complexion.
waves. And it's Tyler
King.
Yellow flag waves. Oh, it's bad. Yellow flag waves. Replay with... And this has changed the entire complexion of the race here. Greg Rentz, Dan Lowther, Tyler King in the grass.
Now,
do you pit?
Yep, that's exactly where I'm going.
Do you pit?
Yep, that's exactly where I'm going with this. Normally, I would say Brightsman's going to go for it, but with that damage, I don't know if he can afford to do that. I don't know if the car would be able to make it.
Said before, when you're the leader behind the pace car and everyone behind you, damned if you do and damned if you don't. And White pits and West does not.
Dan West Jr., the only driver that did not come down pit road.
White comes in, West does not. Boy, oh boy.
Now everyone here has got to make no mistakes on pit road.
Yeah, you don't want to make any mistakes here. It's Catbird. You're in the Catbird seat now. 96, Sherwinski overshooting pit stall. Anderson off the pit lane. Tindrick off the pit lane. Garber is off. Here comes White. O'Hare. Brightsman, fuel only on others.
So now the strategy card.
Greg, we're talking to Dan West Jr. Strategy to pit and not pit. Why did you not come in?
Figured I was kind of hoping more cars would stay out, actually. I just didn't feel like there was enough laps left.
Do you have enough tires under you and obviously enough fuel left in the car as well?
I got plenty of fuel. That's not a problem. Tires are, I'm pretty much sunk here. I saved my stuff there, as you can see, towards the end of that race. And I was just kind of biding my time. And I felt like with 2 or 3 to go, I was pretty much there. So now I'll be lucky to get a top 10.
Are we going to view now to try to get a win?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll do everything I can to, except for wreck somebody. I mean, that's the thing. It's all, I don't want to get ran over either.
Greg Rentz, any questions for Dan West Jr. looking for win number 3 of the season? Excuse me, win 4 of the season.
The good news for you, Dan, is it's going to be a green-white checkered finish here. So you just hoping to try to catch a couple more cautions and hope these guys maybe wear off some of that new on the tires and see if you can't hold them off with a couple extra cautions to help?
I like that. That's a good idea. You should be my crew chief.
Yeah, maybe someday.
What did I miss? What did I miss? Go ahead. I'm playing. Go ahead, Dan.
No, Greg had a great idea. Hopefully these guys start green, white checkers. So that's my only.
Saw something like that. Yeah, it could possibly happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only chance, guys. I should have pitted, but we wouldn't have enough laps. So here I am.
Well, don't feel bad. It looks like some net code is happening to the pace car. Not to you, but the pace car. So go. This should be, I'm not going to wreck anybody to win the race.
Wild green-white checkered finish. Chris White, the number 83, the first driver on 4 fresh tires. He's starting in 6th.
His 5th win this year. He has 4. Lake Peterson, 2nd of the point standings. He's into the top 10 of this race right now. He has 6 wins, looking for 7. He's back in 6th, as Greg just mentioned. He's looking for his 2nd win of the year. He's starting to the point standings. Dan West Jr., 4th in the point of the year. You know he's in the postseason, looking for win number 4. Stephen Paulison with a win this year as well, including Devin West is so with the win. Those are the drivers that have won races so far. 3 races to the playoffs, and we are going to overtime. Number 1, back to the O'Reilly Auto Parts race here. Dan West Jr., he's got to stay out of trouble, and he pulls away from the field. That'll get it done.
He had to get away. He had to get a big restart. The 53 of Burke now. Does Anderson have enough time to get up there and try to reel in Dan West Jr.?
Yeah. Back straight away. Looking. Here he comes.
White flag.
West. Caution. Caution's out. Literally.
Got one.
Literally. Oh, it's Ritter's wrecking. It's
Peterson
also Shawinski. It's Peterson wrecking. Caution off turn 4. Harris is wrecked again.
All right, that's 1.
Greg, they were literally, 500 feet from the flag stand?
And the caution falls.
Wow. Our producer's beside himself. Overtime number 2 coming up. Watch the replay here. We mentioned Paulus, he's got 1 win this year. You know he's going to the playoffs. This happened in front of them. This is secondary accidents. Ritters, I don't think he got any contact.
Stab Now and the Bumblebees get together.
Stab Now and the Bumblebees. Stab Now just got stung. Stab Now, 24 car. Keep an eye on the pole car, by the way. And Noah Shawinski, Lake Peterson.
Over here, and Brightsman may have gotten
my pick, Sean Brightsman there, Kevin Smith. All hell this.
Oh, the Bumblebees got together. Shawinski and Peterson.
Oh, my goodness,
Stab
what are you thinking? He's going to lose his ride. Brian Bloom into Shawinski, and then avoid Greg. He never got any contact from any cars.
All right, we're going to re-rack him. And
take 2.
And this has put Anderson up on the outside of the front row.
Jeff Stab Now going to check it on him. He was on the pole. Jeff, you just got stung by some bees, buddy. What happened out there?
Seems like if I'm not getting in the wall, somebody's getting into me. So car's a little banged up, but we're sitting here P10. I can't complain about that.
My thing is this. Highs and lows for you, Jeff. You're on the pole. You look good. Car's downhill.
Yeah, on that first one there, when Noah got inside me there when I was leading, car just got super tight, scraped the wall. That kind of messed me up. Felt like a rock. Got it fixed. We've been trying, but tire cycles and dings have slowed that down ever since. So if I get a top 10 out of this, I'll be happy.
Greg Rentz, anything for Jeff Stabnow, our pole man, now just got stung by some bees there.
Hey, you said you're looking for a top. Green white checkers continuing. If they get slicing and dicing up at the front, hey, anything can happen in these green white checkered races.
Hey, this is sorry, I can't. That's green white checker, and there's a lot of fast cars on fresh tires up there. So, like you said, anything can happen, but there'd have to be a lot of cars caught up on that for me to sneak by.
Calls the wreck, Jeff.
Oh, Noah and Lake just got into each other up there in front of me. I think Noah. I don't know if Lake pinched down on Noah or Noah came up. I couldn't tell, but it got.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Oh, hey, tell us about your new rig.
It's looking good over.
That might be your problem. He's actually getting a new iRacing rig to improve his racing skills. Go, Jeff.
I've tried everything.
I'm sorry. Him put me up to it. I had to ask.
No problem, man.
Jeff Stabnow, thank you, bud. All right, that's Jeff. This is attempt number 2. Are they only doing 2 attempts now, Greg?
2 attempts, green white
2
checker.
attempts. SMB Cup Series does. This is it. This is it. Last attempt. Here we go. Meaning, your strategy, Greg, with Dan West Jr., it might pay off.
Hey, you never know what could happen.
Hey, overtime, final shootout, and Chris White, Greg's pick, John Breitzman, my pick, row 4, side by side.
I think it's safe to say neither of them are going to take home a win, but I think our producers should at least throw in a $5 bonus to whichever finishes in front
I
of the other.
agree. There should be $5 given to both of us for participating in the contest.
No,
yes.
not a participation trophy.
Oh, hell, that ain't happening.
The stipulation that was presented to us was too.
He told us to vote for Democrat. Yep. I am not voting Democrat. Hail to the no. I am a Republican proudly. Okay? Proudly. Ready for green flag.
Last green white checker
don't get me started. If we get a caution, race is over. Green flag. West pull it away. West pulling away. Here comes now Tedrick. Tedrick with Garber to the inside. O'Hare is there. Meanwhile, our cars battle side by side. Caution comes out. Wreckers, checkers, race is over. White is leading. They're sending it to turn 3, Greg.
West trying to hold on. A lap to go. Rockingham rematch. 2 tires.
He's gonna hold him off.
No tires on West. There it is. White flag.
CRN 1 to go. More details at wearecrn.com. Football Sports next week. West losing ground. Good tires. 2 tires are better than 0 used up. And Caden Anderson on his way. 37 to turn 3 for the final time. One of your Washington buddies out of Yakima, Greg Rentz, looking for his 4th win of the year. 2nd win now in the Cup Series. Finally, there's a wreck at the start-finish line. Caden Anderson, finally a winner of the Northwest Cup Series.
Caden Anderson.
He did it with Cole Raz also present. Remember how many times people say Caden Anderson wins races whenever Cole Raz ain't here? Cole Raz was here. Caden Anderson still won.
Anderson gets it done. Caden Anderson, his first Cup win of the season. Been a long time coming. 4 truck wins on the year. And now Anderson, he's finally got himself a Cup win, and he's going to burn it down here on the front stretch.
Burning it down, burning it down, burning on the Texas asphalt. Anderson, and I get my bonus back. Not voting Democrat. Anderson winning. Burnout time for Caden Anderson. Greg,
5.
what the heck is what are you doing to our camera angles? Once again, our high above angles are brought to you by All American Pools, but we don't want to see scenery shots now. We want to see Anderson get crashed. And there's
By the way,
Garber going in there,
BJ
giving him a
got
punt.
second, and
Here comes
Garber
Smith.
got third.
Matt, you hit the wrong car, West.
Oh, this is going to be a good shot. Here comes Tidrick.
Oh, right in the kisser. In the wall. Look at him.
That's
The
his second place
celebration
finish
is
for
on
BJ
at No
Tidrick.
Limits, Texas. The wrong car is flying through the air. Who cares? The salute is over. Congratulations, Hayden Anderson. Now Dan West Jr. giving him a nice little T-bone, juicy T-bone up against the wall. Congratulating Frank Harris also, and Kevin Smith as well. The what?
Northwest, high five.
The Northwest High Five salute. And finally, a winner of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series here, presented by Tom Yakima, Washington's Caden Anderson. Finally, a winner on the Cup Series. He's had much success in trucks, but not in Cup. And guess what? Another driver, Greg, has punched with just 3 races remaining. Wow. The results, Caden Anderson, BJ Tidrick, where the heck did he come from? He will Tidrick will settle for second. Casey Garber, also a good run for him. Sorry.
Him broke Wesley right at the end. So Casey Garber
third. Sean Brightsman is he's not going to give me the satisfaction. Sean Brightsman fifth. Jeff Stabnow, Stephen O'Hare, Stephen Paulison, Cole Raz, Tyler King, Greg, a top 10 here at Texas.
Coming home will be Kevin Smith in the 00 with Carl Burke in the 53. Matt Gelder, good finish for him. I think that's his career best finish, 13th. And John Ottenbacher in 14th. Chris White, heartbreak for Chris White, leading at the beginning of that final caution. He's going to come home in 16th position. Troy Daggett, Dan Lowther, your final cars in the lead lap, with Toby Ritters and Aaron Cooper rounding out the top 20.
Top 20, here comes the flyover with the birds passing by. You're way too late. Noah Shawinski will finish 21st. Lake Peterson 22nd. Those teammates took each other out there, leading to the overtime. Judd Wakefield will finish 23rd. Frank Harris, Russ Lundberg, James Thurston, Brian Reynolds, Casey Tillman, Justin Yeaton, and last but not least, Ryan Maines. The full field rundown at No Limits, Texas. Texas Motor Speedway. Northwest iRacing Cup. Caden Anderson. We will talk to him next. Stand by. LSRTV, CRN Sports, with more in the Race on Texas 200. Welcome back to the post-race show. Texas 200 in the books. Greg Wentz, Wesley Outland here with you, and we are ready to talk to the top 3. And finally, a winner for Caden Anderson of the Yakima, Washington on the Northwest Cup Series. We'll talk to him in Victory Lane in a moment, but first, third place. And we're going to holler at him right now, getting his thoughts of the event. That's going to be Casey Garber. Casey, third place, wild race, double overtime, and you get on.
Yeah, I got tangled up there with about 50 to go, so my pit strategy was off, and I thought, what the heck, let's take 2 tires and gamble, and it paid off. I don't think it was 4 any longer, though, so I was happy for third.
Casey, I was going to ask you about the up and down state of the race there, especially like you said, you got caught up, and obviously that threw the strategy you had for the race out the window. So on the fly thinking, when did you decide to take 2 tires? Did you have it set in your mind when that caution came out that you wanted to take 2 tires, or was it kind of a case of see what everyone else did and try to react as quickly as you can?
No, when the caution came out there, I knew I was going to take 2. I was going to finish 9th if I didn't get a pit there. So I was happy to get in and get some tires, and glad to finish 3rd.
And by the way, this season will be his now fourth third place finish. That's been his finish all season long at the Texas over tonight. Of course, in addition to that, a 3rd place at Nashville, 3rd place at Richmond as well. 1 win for the trucks. The clock is ticking. Final question, KC. We'll let you thank your sponsors as well. You're 15th in the points. What's it going to take to punch your ticket into the playoffs coming up?
I hope so. We got 3 good tracks at least. We're not at a road course where I actually can race. So I should be able to do pretty well here. I looked at the points already afterwards, and I did move to 14th. So, yeah, Coors Light. That's it.
And that he did. He did move up 1 spot. Those points just updated as we are talking. By the way, it is no longer Danley. Say it is simracerhub.com. And then just put in Northwest Racing Series Cup and Truck. And that's Kenneth Garber. Casey Garber, in short, will finish in 3rd. 2nd spot going to B.J. Tidrick. He's having a pretty good run with finishes. Tonight will make out of 17 starts his 5th top 5 and, of course, his 8th top 10 Cup Series since Darlington of last year, but a consistent finish. A matter of fact, he picks up now his 3rd second place finish. BJ Tidrick, your take of tonight at Texas.
It was a fun race. I qualified extremely poorly and truck on the car for a little longer than some of these other guys, and it really worked out that long run. We were able to migrate forward quite a ways and led some laps. But had that caution not come out when I pitted, I think I would have been a little bit short. So luckily it did come out. It changed the strategy a little bit. And I'm with Garber. I took 2 on that last stop, just thinking that if I took 4, I'm pretty well mired to the spot I'm in. Might as well take any tires. And I thought, what the heck, we might as well. My pop told me a long time ago, if you can't win, put on a show. So I thought, let's at least give it a shot, race on the outside, see if we can come up.
Tell us just about biding your time. It seemed like every time we checked in with you, you had made a little bit more headway through the field, but you showed a lot of patience in this race, gradually working your way up to an eventual 2nd place finish. Tell us about making your way through the field, biding your time, and timing your moves out correctly.
Well, this is one of those tracks where if you get aggressive with it, you'll wear the tires out and you'll really hurt yourself long run. So I felt, just be patient. They'll come back to me, and I really wasn't in a rush at all during the race. I don't know. It was just a really fun race. I thought the track might widen out a little bit more than it did, but it turned down in turn 1. It was just really hard to get around there and not get really tight on exit with horsepower, high downforce. I think if you ran the low downforce, high horsepower setup, it would have been a lot wider racetrack down in turn 1. But it is what it is, and everybody dealt with the same thing. Ultimately, it was a good race, and I had a little bit of a better exit off of 2, and it really helped me make a lot of passes, down there on the bottom. So before I go too much, it's Aunt Kathy's birthday. She watches a lot of these races, so I want to give a shout out to Aunt Kathy. Happy birthday!
He's cake.
And thank you guys for putting this event on, the broadcast, and Northwest Racing Series. Sean and Jeff, they do a lot of work to bring these races guys to run with. If there's anybody out there listening, thinking about getting into iRacing, get some laps, and then come check these guys out. This is an awesome series. They run a lot of diverse tracks, and it's just a really.
Thank your sponsors in closing, and also, when does the Northwest Super Late Model Tour fire back up? Just kind of a little birdie, let everybody know about Sunday nights.
Well, we've been really busy with the big car racing, the real car racing this last couple months, but Seth and I spoke yesterday about getting the ball rolling on that. So the end of October, the Northwest Super Late Model Tour will fire back up, presented by Joe's Racing Products. We're excited to get that thing up and going, and we should see something around the 1st of September. Registration start opening back up, and get everybody excited to go race the short track.
There you go. BJ Tedrick. He is the man. He'll finish the number 2 spot tonight. He will pick up his second runner-up finish, by the way, this season. In the victory lane we go. First time this year, victory lane for the Northwest Cup Series after sheer domination with 5 wins in the Truck Series on Wednesday night. He'll try to sweep it here in Texas as well on Wednesday. Driver to Yakima, Washington, 37, Caden Anderson. You are number 1. Congratulations to you, buddy.
Thank you.
And most of all, punched your ticket into the playoffs now with that win.
Yeah, I feel like this year we kind of struggled more on the Cup Series side than we did the Truck Series. So getting a win underneath us here in late.
I think we had some technical issues there with Caden Anderson's microphone. Caden, if you can hear us, I'll ask you kind of the same question that we out. Did you know you were taking 2, or was that kind of a last-second decision?
Yeah, I knew I was going to take 2. We struggled there. I feel like we just got behind a bubble and we couldn't get past it. So, taking 2, I don't know. I was thinking, what would happen? Like, he's going to take 2. So I was like, I got to take 2. And then ultimately it worked out for us.
Aiden, what's more special? Is it more special winning on the Cup Series of the Northwest or the Truck program?
I feel like winning on both is pretty equal, you know, is that you're the best driver on the same equipment and same setup. But if you went on the truck side, and it shows that you have the best setup and you outdrove anybody else there. So I feel like it goes both ways.
Thank you, Phil. But going in confident Wednesday night for the truck race here at Texas, thinking you could pull out the broomstick and sweep the weekend?
Yeah, hopefully we can sweep out the weekend. So hopefully we'll have something good there for Wednesday night. And I want to thank Harvest Chevrolet for everything they do.
Let me re-quote that. Sweep the weekend. Good luck in your real racing endeavors, man. Thank you so much. Again, driver. It is Caden Anderson. He's number 1 tonight. Finally, first win of the season. He has punched in the Race on Texas 200. By the way, more details at raceontexas.com, at LSRTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, at CRN Sports as well. We are CRN.com. Wrap it up here tonight. What a show. One for the ages. Caden Anderson getting the win.
Man, at the end of the race, we were wondering if Chris White was going to be able to hold off Anderson and West Jr. Then the caution changed everything. Different strategies coming into play, and wouldn't you know it, it was Caden Anderson able to pounce on the final lap, get his way around Dan West Jr. on the 2 tires, and made it work. About it for Tidrick and Garber coming home with a podium as well. Great finishes for all 3 of them. Anderson finally gets that first Cup win of the season, 3rd of his career. Long so fast so many times. But man, what an awesome race at Texas. Hey, this Wednesday we get to do it all again with the trucks. Looking forward to it.
That's right. It's all part of our Wednesday night fun, of course, on Wednesday night SMB Cup Series as they're closing in on the playoffs as well. And then, in addition to that, we have the trucks here at Texas as well. We'll have it on, obviously, on LSRTV and the Community Radio Network as well. For Jeff Stabnow, Greg Rentz in the booth, as well as always, Charles Wooten, a.k.a. Hams, in the production. Follow us at Outland. Congratulations, Caden Anderson, winner here at No Limits, Texas. The trucks will go at it on Wednesday. It'll be a fun time, and we will have it for you. iRacing on your home for sim racing, LSR TV and CRN Sports. Take care from the Lone Star State. God bless it.